Hello everyone, this is Sherwin here from TechOS, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the new control center in iOS 11. Now, the control center in iOS 11 has been changed since iOS 10, and I'm just going to highlight the changes and show you how you can customize it, as this is now an option in iOS 11. So I'm going to be showing it to you on the iPad, primarily because it's a larger device and for you to be able to see it. However, I will show you what it looks like on the iPhone, just because probably most people will be using this on an iPhone. So to access Control Center, as usual, you just slide up and you can get straight to your control center. Now, on the iPad, it's now been combined with the multitasking sort of view, which you traditionally get to by double tapping. But we're going to leave this bit out for now, so if you just ignore this, I'm covering this in another video, so do look out for that. On this side, though, is where you've got the main control center. So this area here is going to be the stuff we're going over. And just so you can see, this is what it looks like on the iPhone. So I've got my iPhone 5S here. I haven't put this on my iPhone 7 because obviously this is the first beta of iOS 11 and there are quite a few things wrong with it because it is quite a large update, so I didn't want to put this on my main device, so I put it on an iPhone 5S which can run it, just to give you an idea of what it looks like on the iPhone. Obviously on a larger iPhone it will just sort of be stretched out. But this is your new interface, so you've got your four main controls up here, so for airplane mode, Wi-Fi, mobile data. This case, this is a cellular iPad, so that's why it's giving me that option. On the iPhone, it's there as well. Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. However, if you 3D touch on it, so if you've got a newer iPhone 3D touch, or if you haven't got a device with 3D touch, such as this iPad, you just touch and hold, and you'll get additional options. So you've got Bluetooth, which we used to, that I went over. AirDrop is now over here, so it no longer has its dedicated section, it's under here. And something which we haven't seen before is personal hotspot. We haven't seen mobile data before, but we've also got personal hotspot. So you can quickly turn that on or off depending on what you want to be doing. And then you can just tap out of that to go back to the main view. We've got our option for orientation lock here, and if I can tap it correctly, you'll see there's a nice a nice new animation. Let me just dismiss this battery warning. If I actually tap off of that, and you'll see there's a nice animation. Here we have got our option for, I think this is guided access, or I'm not actually sure, but you'll check this out in a minute. We've got a display zoom here, so we can adjust that if we need to, which is a new feature. You've got a stopwatch. If you really touch on that, you can see you can start a stopwatch or you can start a timer, which is nice. If you 3D touch or long press on this new icon, you get text size, so you can sort of change that. I've got it on the lowest by default, just my personal preference. Next to that, we've got the timer, which we had before, and if you 3D touch or long press, you can just choose how long you want the timer for, and then tap start to begin it. We've got camera. If you 3D touch or long press on this, you get take photo. On this iPad, you only get take photo. However, if you've got an iPhone with 3D touch, you'll get more, such as take portrait on an iPhone 7 Plus, or if you've got you take a selfie, or take a use the rear camera, or take a video. Here we've got an interesting feature, screen recording. Now, what this will do is it will actually record your screen. So when you tap it, it will start recording my screen. If I go out of control center, you can see at the top it says recording, so it's just recording my screen, and it will just if I want to end it, I can just enter control center, tap that, and it will save this to the photos, so I can just go ahead and view it. So it's nice if you like to share sort of videos of what you're doing with people. Maybe you're showing someone how to do something, doing a tutorial, and that's a nice way of being able to do it. You've got a note here, so if I there's no long press options, but I can create a quick note here. Apple TV, so if I 3D touch or long press on that, it will show me all Apple TVs in the area, and it will also show me my remote options. I've got play, pause, TV, the button on the remote, and the Siri button. So this is sort of a mini version of the actual physical remote that you get with your Apple TV, which is nice. So if you've lost that, then you can use the app on the control center on your iPad or your iPhone. You've got an alarm clock. Again, if you just long press or 3D touch, you get options there. And here we've got guided access or accessibility options, so you've got all these different options there if you want to use those. And here's your screen mirroring option, so it will just show you all your AirPlay devices that are around. And you've got your music up here. If you long press or 3D touch on that, you get some more info, so you can scrub through your audio, and then you can change the volume and play, pause, and all that sort of stuff. You get a small album artwork preview up here, which is nice. I actually prefer the old one, but I guess we'll have to see how I get used to that over time. And these new sliders here for brightness, so I'm going to turn, it's going to mess up the camera view, but this is just for the brightness, and if I tap and hold or 3D touch, I can have a bigger one in the middle of the screen, and I can activate night shift from here. So that's just simple. And then here we've got volume, same thing, we can just change the volume here through long press or 3D touch, or just do it straight from here if we want to. But that's basically using the control center. Now I'll show you how to customize it. So if you go into settings, I've got it in my dock down here, again another feature I'm talking about in another video. If I go to settings, if I go to control center over here, you'll see I've got all these new options now. From you, you'll probably have most of them all down here, like I've just done here. So I have a little green plus. I've added them all because I'm testing it out. If I just tap add, it just adds it, and I can rearrange them to any order that I want. So I've got that option there, and you can just quickly add them, and you can manage them like that. So if you don't really have an Apple TV, you can remove it, and that will no longer appear in your control center. But anyway, that's it for the control center in iOS 11. It's a brand new design. It no longer has the two panes that you used to have with iOS 10, so they've kind of merged it into one to make it a simpler interface. There are many different ways of using it now. Obviously you've got the long press and 3D touch options, so you get more flexibility with how you can use it, and you've also got control center customization, so you can add different shortcuts depending on what you would like to have there, so it's personalized for what you want. But anyway, that's it for this video. If you've got any questions or comments on anything in this video, or if you just need any general Apple advice with your devices, do get in contact with me using the details that are in the description of this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and also do subscribe by clicking on the logo in the middle of the screen, and also do consider watching the videos either side of that logo. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to look out for more iOS 11 and macOS High Sierra videos, and I'll see you in my next video.